Good day, gentlemen. Dirk here with the MGTOW Solution. This video includes the epilogue from the book, as well as the part of Ch10s, which I hope you find useful. Epilogue. In closing, let me emphasize again that this work was just one man's opinion. There's no one-size-fits-all MGTOW program that'll work for everyone. People are too different, and much of this is in the realm of philosophy, so there aren't a lot of hard and fast rules. You'll have to develop an approach that works for you. Hopefully, this book has at least served as a convenient starting point. Let's review the two most important points. 1, don't get married. And 2, don't cohabitate with a woman. In other words, stay single. When you think about it, staying single and going MGTOW are essentially the same thing. I made the decision to remain single long before I discovered MGTOW, and my life hasn't changed all that much since then. That said, I do have a much greater understanding of the issues and the extent of the problems that modern men face. I've gained a lot of insight from the online MGTOW community, especially the YouTube guys. The more that I learn, the more I'm convinced that I'm on the right path. As of this writing, most people have never heard of MGTOW. However, people are noticing the dropping marriage rate and wondering why it's happening. That's leading some in the media to discover our community, though we're usually labeled a fringe, radical group by most of them. I find it amusing that men staying single would be considered radical, but perhaps it's more because we call it like we see it regarding female behavior. People really aren't used to seeing women being knocked off their pedestals. When you refer to a gold-digging whore as a gold-digging whore, or a manipulative bitch as a manipulative bitch, some people won't like it. But there aren't any sugar-coated alternatives with the same descriptive value, so I, for one, plan to keep using the most concise terms available. That includes my personal favorite, screeching harpy. Thanks to John at MGTOW is Freedom for that one. At any rate, reclaiming our independence appears to be rocking the boat, so we can probably expect the backlash to continue. At the same time, you know who won't have a problem with MGTOW once they finally find out about it? The millions of men who have been thoroughly screwed over by women and the gynocracy. They will find a solution, and if others don't like it, well, fuck them. As I stated at the beginning of this book, if my experience proves instructive for even a single man, then I'm happy to have made my small contribution. I hope that many more men get the message through whatever means, not so that we become a large, powerful group, but so that we can make men's lives better on a scale commensurate with the problem. As an independent man, you're in charge of your own life, just as nature intended. Contrary to popular opinion, your purpose is not to devote all of your energy and resources to improving the lives of others, with little or no benefit to yourself. You control your own life, not society, not government, and not some parasitic wench who views you as a utility to be exploited. Whatever path you take, I wish you the best of luck in your journey. Live free. And that's the end of the epilogue. Here's the part of Ch10s. If you've ever read any of the For Dummies books, then you're familiar with the part of Ch10s where topics are distilled down into 10 points to close out the book. I thought it might be interesting to do the same here. 10 comparisons between marriage and MGTOW. 1. In marriage, your sexual activity is controlled entirely by the woman. In MGTOW, your sexual activity is limited only by your own capabilities and desires. 2. In marriage, another person will judge your performance in all aspects of life. In MGTOW, you alone determine whether or not your performance is up to par. 3. In marriage, you'll be allotted a limited amount of time to yourself. In MGTOW, all of your free time will be spent as you see fit. 4. In marriage, your home environment is greatly influenced by your wife. In MGTOW, your home environment is whatever you make it. 5. In marriage, you'll be expected to maintain 2 cars. In MGTOW, you'll only have to maintain 1. 6. In marriage, your only refuge at home will be the man cave, and then only if you've been allowed to have one. In MGTOW, your entire home is your man cave. 7. In marriage, you'll have little privacy. In MGTOW, you'll have all the privacy you want. 8. In marriage, your financial future is largely dependent on whether or not the marriage continues to survive. In MGTOW, your financial future is more predictable and under your control. 9. In marriage, your choices of where to live and what career to pursue are limited. In MGTOW, you have no such limitations. 10. In marriage, you'll make few decisions on your own. In MGTOW, all of your decisions will be entirely your own. 10 woman speak interpretations. Women sometimes speak their minds. Unfortunately, those minds are often entirely focused on getting what they want, as opposed to, say, making sense and communicating effectively. As a result, their statements must be interpreted, if not outright translated. Here's 10 examples. 1. I just want to be happy. This is intended to suggest that her needs are simple, but begs the question, what will it take to achieve this? As we know, it usually takes quite a lot. She's trying to sound reasonable, but if she were reasonable, then she would simply choose to be happy with her current life. Since few women ever feel satisfied, making them happy is unlikely. 2. Men don't understand women. This one is an attempt to transfer the underlying problem, her irrationality, from the woman to the man. If you don't understand her absurd behavior, that's your problem. You're not sophisticated enough to comprehend her mystique and complexity. This complaint often comes up when a man fails to read a woman's mind about something. 3. You only care about yourself. A simple shaming tactic suggesting that by doing something for yourself, you're being selfish. Remember, your efforts are supposed to be directed at achieving happiness for her. And what do you get out of it? Well, maybe she'll be less bitchy, or possibly even in a good mood. Happy wife, happy life. 4. You don't really love me. Nothing more than a guilt trip requiring you to modify your behavior in some way, or to simply purchase something for her. A common response to the word no. 5. All you care about is sex. This is used when she doesn't want to have sex, obviously. To prove her wrong, you're supposed to stop wanting to get laid. Ironically, this is often exactly what happens, because her being a bitch is usually a turnoff. She'll think she got through to you, when in reality, she just made herself undesirable. 6. Relationships require compromise. Of course, this means that you must compromise, and if you don't, that proves you're being an asshole. This one is used when there's a conflict between what she wants and what you want. Simps usually buy into this, believing that it demonstrates that they are being a good partner. 7. Men are afraid of commitment. This is probably the most common complaint for women trying to get married. A more accurate statement would be, men are afraid of putting their balls into a bear trap. Easily countered by citing men's commitments in other areas, such as jobs or military service. 8. You don't appreciate me. There may be some truth in this statement, because in a lot of cases, there really isn't much to appreciate beyond her golden vagina. This reflects the inflated sense of self-worth so common in modern women. If she's even slightly attractive, then in her mind, that should be enough to get whatever she wants at all times. 9. Man up. Most guys have heard this enough to recognize it as a simple attempt at manipulation. When you hear this phrase, it should trigger your bullshit alarm, not your need to prove your masculinity by doing whatever it is she's trying to get you to do. 10. I just want to find a good man. Sounds like a reasonable statement until you look at her definition of what a good man is. Honest, hardworking, and faithful are great, but they certainly won't be enough. What she really wants is the resources that a man can provide: safety, security, strength, and above all, money. 10 MGTOW Quotes. 1. Just ignore everything women say, and nothing will ever annoy you again. Ch10. 2. Most whores are just honest women. Most women are just dishonest whores. A voice for men. 3. When men get older, they look like Sean Connery. When women get older, they look like Sean Connery. Rain Dog. 4. To learn who rules over you, simply find out whom you are not allowed to criticize. Voltaire. 5. No man should ever marry a woman who hates him enough to actually let him go through with it. Dick Masterson. 6. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. Tesla. 7. A man without a woman is like a fish without a hook. Unknown. 8. All your life you are being told by others what it means to be a real man, and you are told how worthless you are if you don't measure up. Paul Elam. 9. Behind every successful man doesn't stand a woman, but appears a woman. Unknown. 10. All the men who have vanished, the men you hated yet dreaded to lose. It is I who have taken them away from you. Do not attempt to find us. We do not choose to be found. Do not cry that it is our duty to serve you. We do not recognize such duty. Do not cry that you need us. We do not consider need a claim. Do not cry that you own us. You don't. Do not beg us to return. We are on strike, we, the men of the mind. John Galt. 10 Feminist Quotes. 1. The nuclear family must be destroyed. Whatever its ultimate meaning, the breakup of families now is an objectively revolutionary process. Linda Gordon. 2. All men are rapists, and that's all they are. Marilyn French. 3. I feel that man-hating is an honorable and viable political act. Robin Morgan. 4. To call a man an animal is to flatter him. He's a machine, a walking dildo. Valerie Solanas. 5. Feminism is the theory, lesbianism is the practice. Ty Grace Atkinson. 6. In a patriarchal society, all heterosexual intercourse is rape, because women, as a group, are not strong enough to give meaningful consent. Catherine McKinnon. 7. We are, as a sex, infinitely superior to men. Elizabeth Cady Stanton. 8. The male is a domestic animal which, if treated with firmness, can be trained to do most things. Jilly Cooper. 9. Heterosexual intercourse is the pure, formalized expression of contempt for women's bodies. Andrea Dworkin. 10. Men who are unjustly accused of rape can sometimes gain from the experience. Catherine Commons. And that wraps up the MGTOW Solution by me, Dirk Lerxst. I hope you enjoyed listening to it at least half as much as I enjoyed creating it. One thing I've left out is the appendix, The Evolution of a MGTOW, which is the full version of my personal story. Because I'm an old guy, it's kind of long, so I'm not going to record it. If you're interested, you can download it and the entire book at no cost at MGTOWSolution.com. My only intent with this project was to add one more voice to the MGTOW community, one of many that are motivated by the sincere desire to help other men. If you actually made it through all of the chapters, I appreciate you giving it your time. These days, we're always hearing about the "too long, didn't read" comment, but I figured there are probably some men out there who don't suffer from short attention spans. This stuff is pretty important and worth taking the time to give it some study. It's a self-improvement thing after all, and since you don't have some screeching harpy demanding all your time, you can devote some time to making your life better. As for my plans, I'm going to continue putting out videos, though they'll mostly be shorter than those in this series. I'll just cover topics I find interesting and that may be of interest to others. Some of these will be accompanied by video footage from my travels. I'm hitting the road in May 2018, something I'll be able to do in large part because I'm MGTOW. I'm also getting involved with the Society for Men's Freedom, the group recently founded by John at MGTOW is Freedom. Google it for more information. John does great work, and I want to see where it goes. Technically, that organization isn't MGTOW, which remains simply about, going your own way. But I'll be interested to see how much interest John can drum up on issues that apply to all men, MGTOW or not. Meanwhile, I'll keep learning from all the other guys, and I recommend you do the same. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.